Thanks for watching CMTV. We know you'll be blessed by this week's message. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Visit cmjacksboro.com for more information about our church and ways you can get involved. Thanks for joining us and welcome home.
At this time, we will be releasing children ages kindergarten to 3rd grade for Kids on a Mission. Parents, please remember to check your child in at the welcome bar in the lobby if you haven't already done so. After service concludes today, you will be able to pick up your child in the fellowship hall.
We are honored to have guest speaker Tim Brooks join us this morning. He is the pastor of Christian Ministries Church in Hot Springs, Arkansas, and a member of Wall Builders Pro-Family Legislative Network. Please give a warm welcome to our guest speaker, Tim Brooks.
I tell you, Terry and I pastor in Hot Springs, and so we are in our church, in the same church, week in and week out, but we do a whole lot of traveling and involved in a lot of other churches and other ministries, and so we are on the road a lot. And I just, for those of you who are here, I don't want you to take for granted what you have. You know, it's rare these days that you find pastors that are committed to what God's called it. They're committed until things don't go to suit them, and then they're not committed. And, you know, pastors are in and out and up and down. And, you know, I call them and, are you still saved? Are you still married? You know, are you in jail? I never know how to start off the conversation because I don't know where they are. And for all of the years that we have known Eugene and Sadie, I always pick up the phone, I always talk to them, and I know exactly they're still saved, still serving the Lord, still married, still serving God right where He put them, and that's rare, and don't take that for granted. Y'all got great pastors here. Great pastors. Great pastors. You guys are an inspiration to us. Well, I'm looking forward to sharing with you just something that jumped off of the page to me, and it's a passage. Court was saying, well, what scripture are you going to preach on? Well, I'm just going to preach on one verse, and it's one everybody in here's got memorized. This is the day the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. It's a verse that we all know. This is the day the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. And I've known that my whole life, but as of late, there's some things that are jumping off of the page to me that we've got to glean from what this teaches us. I want to talk about life in it. I want to talk with you for a few minutes today about living life in it. In it. Look at those last two words. Anybody here today can say, whoo, I'm in it. Let me rephrase that. Is there anybody here can say, I am neck deep in it? I mean, like, I am in it. I'm neck deep in it. Whatever it is, you're in school, at your work, you're neck deep in a family conflict right now that is just about to overwhelm you. You're neck deep in a marriage crisis. You're neck deep. If you got teenagers, you are neck deep in it. You are double neck deep in it if you got teenagers in your house. If you've got kids, I don't know, 13 to 15 that can't drive themselves yet, you are a professional Uber driver that gets no pay. You're at some ball game or some function. You're just running up and down the roads, and if you're married, y'all are dividing and conquering. One's got to go to this game, while one's got to go across town to this recital, while one's got to be over here at the soccer, while one's over here playing football. I mean, it's just, we're in it. We live in it. We're in it, and I think probably everybody in here can wave their hands and say, you're preaching to me today, because I'm living in it right now. I want to talk about what this passage says. So much in here to glean. There's just so much in here for us to draw out as we dissect living in it. Let's go to Genesis chapter 1 and 2 just in our minds. And remember this. God created mankind, and He placed him in the garden. And you got to see this. God gave man a choice. So we will. We will. See, you and I are created with a choice. Now think about that. Mankind is created with the ability to choose. Then we just begin to flip through the pages. Deuteronomy chapter 11. Look, today, I'm giving you the choice between blessings and cursings. Deuteronomy 30. Today, I've given you a choice between life and death. All through the Bible, it talks about making a choice. Choose this day who you'll serve daily. Take up your cross and follow Him. I mean, the ability to choose is seen throughout the Word because you and I were created with the ability to choose. We will. I can choose in it. Okay, I have the ability to make a choice in it. Nowhere do we see that our choice about our joy or our happiness is under the control of somebody else doing anything else. Now, this is some profound stuff, and I want you thinking about this. I pray that this quietness is because you are meditating and chewing on this, not because you have gone to sleep on this sermon. Abraham Lincoln says, I believe people are about as happy as they make up their mind to be. We're looking at this verse today. This is the day the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. Now this couldn't be more clear. No ifs, no if my husband, if my wife, well, if my coworker, if my boss would just get off of my, there's no ifs. There's no ifs anybody would do anything else. I will rejoice and be glad. Now get this, in it. I'm not going to rejoice and be glad after it. I'm not going to rejoice and be glad when it is no longer. Right in the middle of it, right in the middle of what you're dealing with, I'll do what? I will. You and I each day make choices about our emotion. Is this on testing? Yeah, I'm on Carter. You don't need to go back and adjust this. You and I each day make a choice about our emotion. This here's the day that I've got. I'm going today be bitter in it. That's what I've chosen. I'm going to be bitter, and I'm going to be bitter all day. This is the day I'm going to be mad in it. This is the day I'm going to be full of rage. All right, here's my day right now. I'm going to be consumed with depression. That's what I've chosen today. I'm just going to walk in depression all day. Don't try to get me out of it. I've chosen it. This is the day I'm going to choose to be furious. Today's the day I'm chosen to be withdrawn, stay to myself. In it, let me ask you, in it, we're all in it. We've satisfied it. Everybody's neck deep in it. We're in it. What emotion are you choosing in it? What are you choosing for your day? I started to say choices begin the moment we wake up. But choices begin before we wake up. I mean, what pillow you sleep on, what kind of bed you sleep on, what kind of mattress you sleep on, what kind of sheets you sleep on. I mean, I didn't even know until my wife taught me sheets have count. You have 100 count, 200. Are y'all familiar? I see some women shaking their head, men staring, blank stare. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I get that. Well, we're not sleeping in no 100 count sheet. We're going to have a 500 count sheet. I mean, we can't have these sheets. We got to have those. No doubt they're more expensive. I would expect that. That's the way we buy at our house. We look for the price and we get the most expensive because clearly that's the best. Do y'all have that guy on the commercials that are advertising MyPillow? Yeah. Is it every commercial or every other commercial? It just, Lord, MyPillow. Okay, do you have a MyPillow? Why does anybody have a MyPillow? I don't know. Everybody I've talked to said they're terrible. I don't know, but boy, he thinks they're great. MyPillow. You got to have them. Choices begin before we even get out of bed. And then the second your feet hit the floor, you decide whether to brush your teeth or not to brush your teeth. Hopefully you made the choice to brush. Then you go what toothpaste you use, and there's just rows and rows of tooth. I mean, the choices just continue. We're just making choices. We're making choices. We're making choices all the time. Okay, Tim, I got it. Move on. I got it. We make choices. Well, clearly we don't got it today. We don't got it. But I'm not sure how we got as a society to where we are in this era of history. But we are living in an unprecedented era of a victim mentality. We live in it. It is permeating our whole society. What happened to my great grandparents now makes it impossible for me to get a job and pay my bills. See, what happened to me when I was in my mother's womb makes it impossible for me to get out of bed on time and get to work because of what happened when I was in the womb. And you're hearing this, well, I can't do anything about it. I was born this way. Well, my dad, he didn't watch my football game. That's why I beat my wife senseless. I don't need to go to jail because my dad didn't come and watch me in elementary play football. I mean, whatever we do, see, we're a victim. I can't do anything about my situation. I can't do anything about where I am. I'm a victim because of what has happened to me, 10 years ago. Well, in the previous generation. See, I am where I am because of what's happened to me. You and I were created with a choice. We were created with a choice. And you have the ability to choose the emotion that you're going to walk in today. Regardless of what happened to you when you were in your mother's womb, or your dad ran out on you, or your mom didn't, but we all got a sad story. Everybody's got a sad story. I mean, whatever misfortune happened to you, or happened to your grandparents, or what the company left town, and now you don't. Whatever you're in, you make a choice for depression. You make a choice for anger. You make a choice for bitterness. You make a choice. I will, right? Here's what I'm going to do today. You look what the Scripture is telling us. You and I have a choice. Now, some way, somehow, America has got to get this message that we're talking about today back in our lifestyle. Because this thinking kills productivity. It kills productivity, and our productivity level as a nation and our productivity level as individuals in our homes and our families, the bottom is falling out because I can't do anything about my lot in life. See, blessed life is not possible for me. Pastor Eugene preaches about living a blessed life. Well, and that's a great sermon, and I amen it. And man, I financially give to this church, but it's not in the cards for me. See, that doesn't pertain to me. I can't live blessed. Pastor, that was a great sermon. Thank you for preaching that. I hope everybody else got it. They can live a blessed life, but I can't live a blessed life because of what my grandfather did to me or my uncle did to me or a cousin did to me. So I can't live a blessed life because what a coworker or a boss or a business partner. Now, I amen a sermon on a blessed life, but it's not in the cards for me. This mindset that we have, this mindset is not only being allowed, but our society is now fueling it. We are fueling that. Parents, I want to encourage you, do not fuel this victim mentality in your kid's life. You don't take the side of your kid. When they come in and tell you what the teacher did or what their coach did or what, my question is, well then, I guess you'll just have to get happy in it. I guess you'll just have to get happy in it. I hate the fact that you have an imperfect teacher. That's tragic. I had really hoped that you were going to get a perfect teacher this year in school. Dang it, you didn't. So in the midst of school, in the midst of work with an imperfect boss and an imperfect foreman, see, your happiness, your ability to be glad is not up to your teacher, is not up to your classmate. It's not. Parents, say this to your kid. Honey, you need to get yourself happy right now. Did any of you grow up hearing that? You need to get yourself happy. Let me just tell you, young man, you need to get yourself happy. Here, I got something for you. Why don't you just get happy in the same pair of panties you got mad in? That'd be my advice to you, and I'd advise you to do that right now. You just get your happy britches on right now. I want to give you a formula. Do we get this formula where we can put this up? Write this down if you're taking notes. E equals the event. That's what happened to you. What your teacher did, what your boss did, what the economy did, what your business partner did, your neighbor did. Well, they built the fence on your side of the property, and their dog got over on your property and it killed one of your calves. The event is the event of the day. Now, I want you to look at this very carefully. The event plus your response. R equals response. The event plus the response equals your outcome. The event in life does not produce the outcome on its own. Your response to what happened to you. See, the event, then you add your response to that event, that produces the outcome. What is your response? Are you allowing God to take what was meant for your destruction? I'm not arguing today whether the event is bad or good. The event's bad. I mean, it's terrible. This couldn't be worse. I hate it for you. This is life in a fallen world. We've got some horrible events that take place in our life. But do you allow God to take what was meant for your destruction and produce something good out of that? Or do you choose bitterness? Do you choose unforgiveness? Do you choose a rage? And because of an event that happened 20 years ago in your life, your response is hate and unforgiveness, and I'm going to walk in hate, I'm going to walk in unforgiveness until finally it gives me a nervous breakdown. I'm going to walk in hate, I'm going to walk in unforgiveness until finally my bitterness drives all of my friends, and the outcome of my life is nobody likes me and nobody wants to be around me because I am just so full of unforgiveness and bitterness. See, you take the event and then you add your response. What we're talking about today is choosing to be glad in it. Here's a bad event, but I'm going to be happy anyway. I'm going to choose joy anyway. And before you know it, you got a good outcome. Before you know it, this tragedy turned around and now it caused something good to happen. See, you had a layoff at your company. Here you are. Now, what's your response? Bitter, mad, depressed, and so you are in such a condition, nobody would hire you anyway, and you keep blaming the event. Or you get a layoff, you say, God, you provided me with that, you'll provide me with something better. My needs are met in you. You are my source, not a job. You're my source, and a job is only a pipeline to bring blessings in life to me. And so, God, if that's shut off, you'll bring more blessings to me another way. And because of your great response to that, you get hired, you get another position, and you're making twice what you were making. And so if you hadn't gotten laid off, you would still be at this job. And so the fact that you were terminated or laid off is the very thing that catapulted you into a place where you have twice the blessings in life. And it's am I preaching better than you're listening, or are y'all listening? I don't know what's happening here. The Bible says don't deceive yourself. Maybe I'm deceiving myself, but I think I'm preaching pretty good right here. Amen. Thank you for that vote of confidence. I don't know what your event is today. In your work, in your family, in your finances, and maybe in your health. You add to that. You add to that. We've all studied and seen and heard doctors' reports. Somebody goes through a surgery and they get a bad, depressed, I'm not going to make it, I'm going to die attitude. Same surgery, somebody says, I'm going to bounce back and be stronger than I was before. Their recovery time is marked difference. Their ability to come out of that. See, when you add your response to the event, I'm just asking today, what is it that you are choosing to walk in? We've got a huge crisis. We've got a huge crisis in our country with this victim mentality. And I want you to know today, it's nobody else's fault that you're not happy. It's just nobody else's fault. Yes, what happened to you is somebody else's fault. I get it. They shouldn't have done that. They wronged you. You were lied about. You were falsely accused. I get it. You were wrong. But it's nobody else's fault that you're not happy. It's their fault that that event happened, but the event does not determine your response. You make a choice about your response. And the fact today that you're not happy, you're not living in life more abundant, you're not living in joy, you're not rejoicing, the fact that that's not what you're walking in is nobody's choice but yours. Amen. You've got to choose. I want to talk to the parents in here. Parents, don't let your kids grow up thinking life is somebody else's fault. Teach your kids that life is their choice. Many of us in here grew up, and you heard this all the time, if life hands you lemons, make. That thinking is not taught anymore. If life hands you lemons, find the one that handed it to you and sue them. That's our mentality. Find the one that handed it to you and get even. Find the one that handed it to you and make them pay for handing that to you. Find the one that handed you the lemon and be bitter and hold them in unforgiveness for the next 40 years of your life. See, we've got a different concept of that old saying about when life hands us a lemon. You don't do any favor by getting on somebody's side in a pity party and allowing them to live as a victim in this life. Let me just tell you, this victim mentality that we got going is causing depression at an unprecedented rate. It's causing suicide. It's causing non-productivity. It's causing drug abuse, alcohol abuse. It's causing us all kinds of problems because we're trying to deal with the devastation of this event, which we can't do anything about. And if you spend your day thinking about and focusing on what you can't do anything about, it will produce depression. It's going to. If you spend your time focusing on what you can't do anything about, it will cause you to withdraw, to go into seclusion. It will cause your insides to begin to be eaten up by bitterness, by anger, by frustration. Those are the results of pondering things you can't do anything about. I can't do anything about the event. That's not mine. It happened. That's the way it is. Life in a fallen world. Here we are. Now, I'm going to add my response to it because I can choose my response. I will. See, we will choose. It didn't say we will choose only if they come and ask forgiveness, only if they pay you back for what they did to you, only if they make the wrong right. No, I'm choosing today this. Rejoice and be glad. I'm rejoicing today. Here's what I want you to know. We live in a fallen world. How many are in school in here? Raise your hands. All you in elementary, junior high, high school, y'all stand up. Everybody that's in school, stand up. All we're in school, stand up. Oh, but we got a lot of folks in school. Here, y'all, you come down here real quick. Just everybody that's in school, come on down here. Y'all, and just stand right here. Make a circle, make a circle. Hurry up, come on, let's go. Let's go. Hurry back. The rest of y'all talk among yourselves. Here's the deal. We live in a world where everybody's not perfect. Okay? We live in a world where people do things they shouldn't have done. It was wrong of them to do that. Now, here's what I'm telling you. There's going to be some parties that some of your friends had, and you won't get invited to it. They should have. There's going to be some sleepovers and bunking parties at your friend's house, and they didn't invite you. They should have. You're clearly the most fun person in the world. You were the best. They should have invited you first, but they didn't. Have your own party. Look here, you can't let the fact that you weren't invited to the sleepover to cause you to go in your room and cry your eyes out because they overlooked you. They let you out. All right, all the guys over here, all the girls over here. See, you sit over here with the boys, just right there. Girls, let me tell you something. Boyfriends will break up with you and go out with your best friend. That's what they do. Now, you could take it much better if she was cuter. She's a dog. Are you kidding me? He left you for that? That's hard to swallow. It just is. You were clearly the better choice. They gossip all the time. They talk about boys all the time, and they run you down, and they compare you with other boys. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable what girls do. Well, we just won't get into it, but boy, they're a handful. Y'all stop listening. I said, talk among yourselves. I'm going to tell you, you choose your emotion. Don't live your day sad. Don't live your life unhappy. Don't live your life miserable. Don't live your life acting like nobody likes you, nobody wants you. Don't allow those thoughts to get into your head. Every day you wake up, I'm going to be happy today. I'm going to have a great day. See, you tell yourself, I choose to rejoice, and I choose to be glad in it. You just make that choice. I don't care what girl invites me to a party or what girl doesn't invite me to a party. That's just one less party you got to fool with. They really aren't that cool anyway. They just think they are. Look, don't get caught up in all that and allow your life to be depressed and unhappy. This is a great life. We live in the greatest nation in the world. Our toys and stuff are unprecedented when you look all over the world at the good things that we have, at the houses that we live in, the cars that we drive, the food that we eat, the entertainment that we have. When you look around the world, our life is unprecedented, and I want you to know you got a great life. Is it perfect? Nope, we live with imperfect people. And kids at school, some of them are jerks. Some of them do bad things. Some of them say wrong things. You make the right choices. And each and every day you get out of bed, I'm going to be happy today. I choose to rejoice. Can you remember that? Y'all go back to your seats and y'all give these guys a big hand for being in church on Sunday. BFFs, they lie about you. That's what they do. That's just what happens. 3 girls have a bunking party and they forget to invite the 4th one. That's just what happens. When money gets involved, business partners cheat each other. That's what happens when you live in an imperfect, fallen world. Well, we'll navigate through that. We'll work through it. I will deal with the event the best way I can, but here's what I'm doing. I'm making a choice to rejoice and be glad in it. I'm making a choice to rejoice and be glad in it. Every day. Every day. There's so many things that we can see in Psalms 118 verse 24. The thing that really sticks out to me is that decision requires nobody else to do anything else. Well, if they'll do it, I'm not, until they come and apologize to me, well, until they come and make it right, I will rejoice and be glad in it. There's nothing in that verse that is dependent on anybody else doing or saying anything else. Are they wrong? Dead wrong. Wrong. Should they have said that? No, they should have never said that. Should they act like that? No, they should have never acted like it. They're horrible for doing that, but my response is, I will rejoice and be. This is the day the Lord has made. This is the day the Lord has made. Here's the choice that I'm making. Here is the choice that I'm making in this day. We just live in a fallen world. Everybody here is in it. We are all in it. And when I saw that verse that I've known my whole life exploded within me. We are in it. We live in it. We are definitely in it. That's where we are. But in it does not change. I just change what I'm choosing. Today, yesterday's gone. I can't do anything about it. I can't do anything about the event. But my response today is, I will do what? I will rejoice and be glad in it. Let's ask ourselves some questions. Right now, just between you and the Lord, I'm just asking you to think about this. Are you waiting on some outside force to make you feel happy? Jesus says, I came that you might have life and have it more abundant. Okay, so the abundant life is for us. Are you waiting? You're not happy right now. Are you waiting on, if they would, well, if she, until they come in, until she, are you waiting on some outside force to make you happy? Are you waiting on a situation or a set of circumstances to change? Then you will be happy. Are you waiting on some possession? When I get a new car, when I get a new house, when I get it, are you waiting on some possession today to make you happy? Or are you waiting on another person to change their behavior before you can be happy? Somebody else's behavior has got you jerked up today. Are you waiting on somebody else's behavior to, I'm sad, I'm depressed, I'm not having life and life more abundant, I'm not there, and I won't be there until this person does this, this, and this. Are you waiting on another person to change their behavior before you can be happy? The message today is just this. You're in it. It's where we all are. Right now, you're still in it. I stand here today and I can't do nothing about you're in it. I can't fix it. I can't do anything about what you're in. But here's what I'm telling you. In it, you can choose to rejoice and be glad. Y'all stand with me. Right now, I want to make a choice. I just want to make a choice. Just raise your hands. Universal sign of surrender. I surrender. I just surrender. God, I surrender. I surrender my grudge. I surrender my unforgiveness. I surrender my bitterness. I surrender my hate. I surrender my hurt that I'm holding on to. Lord, I just surrender my depression to you. I give it to you. And right now, I am choosing to be glad. I'm choosing to rejoice. This is the day, Lord, that you have made. I'm choosing. I'm making a choice. I'm making a choice. Say it with me. This is the day the Lord has made. I will. Come on, say it again. I will rejoice and be glad in it. Amen. Amen.
Thanks for watching this week's message. If you would like to partner with us financially or support our ministry, it's now easier than ever. When you give to Christian Missions, you are sowing into people's lives and advancing the kingdom. Try giving online today by visiting cmjacksboro.com/give.